Welcome back to episode number 3.
Episode 3.
Beard. Your father became a man.
Yeah, it happened.
Well, today we're going to have an exciting episode, besides Jay throwing bottle caps on the floor. We're going to be reviewing some stuff. We're going to be going over some new movie stuff, some videos.
We went to the movies. It was awesome.
We're going to be talking about some products.
So, I DM'd Logan Paul, my homie.
He didn't DM anyone.
I was like, yo,
but we will be trying his new Prime drink later on.
I was like, yo, LP, hook it up. Hook it up with some of that Prime.
That was getting really dark. Did you hear how dark that was fucking getting?
Did you make that? Okay.
It is with it.
We have... First, I think we need to plug your history podcast.
The new history podcast, yes.
So what's it called?
Well, so this new series is going to be part of a larger series called the Complete History Podcast series. But I'm coming out with an episode called... Yes. I'm coming out with an episode called... Alright, a series called The History of Coffee. So it'll be the Complete History of Coffee. You can find us anywhere that you find your podcast. Apple, Google, YouTube, Spotify, all that.
Just like Garden Shed.
Exactly.
Complete History of Coffee.
So the first episode's kind of fun because it kind of looks at some legends and stuff, but it also kind of twists the original narrative, but it starts explaining where coffee comes from. Because I'm sure there's some people out there... Legends.
Coffee legends?
Coffee legends.
There's no such thing.
There's also a superhero goat. Like super-powered mutant ninja goat, if you will.
Not like the greatest of all time, like an actual goat.
You'll have to watch and find out.
Okay, we're going to have to watch Aris' podcast. I'm very intrigued.
What's new for you, though? What's going on
this for
week?
Me? I'm literally abandoning everything in my life and GSP Army for life.
GSP Army for life. GSP tonight.
GSP tonight.
That's what I'm saying. We're going to be coming out with some new videos soon.
Garden Shed Podcast. We have 2 vlogs coming very soon.
Very soon.
And short films.
Short films we're working on. We have
at least
monologue coming.
Monologue for this guy, Mr. Actor, Hollywood.
We're going to get some directing experience on that. Put out some more content. And
work towards
short films. We can actually start putting out maybe like 15, 20-minute videos.
Yeah, we need to make a good one. Strap in, guys. We're going to make horror, funny,
maybe drama,
because this guy he wants
sci-fi.
He needs monologues.
He's one of
acting reels.
Hell yeah!
We're going all out.
We're
gonna be on Garden
LA.
Shed.
This guy's gonna be directing. I'm gonna be acting, doing all of it. Acting and directing. One as well.
We're taking over Hollywood. You got to subscribe. You got to hit the like button. You got to get used to Garden Shed. We're not going anywhere.
GSP Army for life.
Just fucking subscribe. Anyways, let's get into the first thing that I want to do.
What's the first thing you want to do?
I want to hit the perfume.
The perfume?
Yeah.
Okay, let's check it out. I've been hearing a lot about this. I'm not really sure what to expect, but Jay is very excited about this. Been talking about it all week.
I've actually had it already for like a month. But that's good. That means I've had time to like...
But if he's that excited about it still, he's tried it.
I put it to use out in the field. I've wore it out in the city, out in the jungle, out in the desert, in the snow. Around females, around males.
And did it freak them out?
Everything in between.
Gotcha.
The world loves it, and it's...
I'm questioning how good it is then.
First of all, look at the packaging, dude. This kid, David Dobrik, dude, knocks it out the park. This looks like an iPhone. That's the whole thing.
I see what you mean. Yeah, that case.
He wanted it to be like all sexy casing.
You almost need that like secondary thing in there. You like pull out your headphones and your charger.
But that's not even what's really important. What's important is the product. So let's see what David Dobrik has. There's 2 options. One of them I think was more of a... I think they were both unisex, but one of them was like more feminine and one of them was
more masculine.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I got the masculine one. Amber and Cashmere. David's Perfume.
Why didn't you get the feminine one?
Number 1.
Wouldn't that have fit your lifestyle a little bit better?
What are you trying to say, Aris?
Let's check out the perfume.
You know, actually, I do have a lot of unisex fragrances. The other ones I have is
Pink Roses,
Yves Saint Laurent. It's very floral, and I use a body wash that's lavender and roses because I want to smell.
Lavender's a good smell.
I want to smell like luxury and flowers. Okay.
Luxury and flowers.
Such a hater. I got paint on my toenails too. I want to be a pretty.
Got little designs on them too.
Not yet.
We could put them on there.
You want to?
Put like GSP on them or something.
I'm gonna do yours too.
I'm good. Next time.
Dude, you can't. I can't have the only GSP toenails.
You're wearing socks right now. It's not like we could see it anyway.
If I had GSP toenails, I would be like.
You'd be sporting it right now?
Yeah.
You put his foot up in case you digs didn't know.
I got cool ass socks. Alright, anyway.
Check out
look, it's magnetic, the lid. For our audio listeners.
ASMR. Have a little open close right on there. Ooh.
Yeah. Ooh, magnet power.
Okay, let's smell it. That's the whole point.
Very satisfying. Okay, you do it.
You want me to spray it?
Feel the satisfaction of the magnet and then spray it.
Okay, a little more ASMR. Ooh. That is kind of cool. Oh wow! Yeah,
it's
you
great.
just gotta drop it by it. I feel like I have so much power right now. Okay.
I probably hit like 2 squirts on the wrist, and give it a little something.
Let's see. Oh, that is pretty nice.
Like that.
That is pretty nice. Okay, let me see. If I was just describing it, does kind of have a masculine sort of leaning. It's not super strong though. I feel like a lot of like men's cologne is very strong.
Yeah, I don't like
it's a little bit more subtle.
Strong masculine cologne. I don't really like that personally.
You know what this kind of gives me a little bit? Like at the beach.
At the
kind of like that ocean salt, but like the ocean breeze kind of blowing it.
Amber and Cashmere. So I think they just kind of threw in those words to kind of sound cool. I don't know what amber
sound
is.
More fancy.
Does that have a smell? Is that a thing? Cashmere, I think, has a smell.
I thought Cashmere was closed, so I mean, I'm really.
Well, yeah, that's what I thought too.
Lost now.
I see Cashmere in candles, I guess. I don't know.
So anyway, does it smell? Yeah.
I think it smells great, and I've had very positive feedback. The ladies like it.
The guys like it, apparently.
The guys like it. Co-workers like it.
There you go.
Don't worry about what I got going on.
Smells good, anyway.
It smells good.
We got to get the feminine one for you, too, though. We can try that one out.
You're right. If we were...
Equal opportunity, honestly.
You're right. I dropped the ball on this one. I dropped the ball on this one. We didn't do a proper review because we don't have both. But I'm also a broke-ass bitch, dude. I can't just be buying all this shit.
Well, we get more subscribers, and then we can try more stuff. See? It works out.
David's Perfume. Number 1. There might be more. We'll see. But I think this is a win for him. I think financially wise, I think he probably killed it on this.
How much was that? Like a rough estimate on what the price was?
Well, hold on. I think it was $60 full retail price. I caught it around Black Friday, first week of December.
Okay.
It was 50% off. That's like the only reason I bought it.
So like $30?
Yeah, I bought it.
That's not bad. I was gonna say 60. I don't think I'd pay 60. But like 30's not terrible.
I know I didn't want to do 60 unless I was really committed for review purposes.
Yeah, that one works though.
Yeah, I like it. David Dobrik.
So
rich ass bastard, I'm coming for you.
We also wanted to go ahead and talk about the movie that we went and saw. Right?
Are you speaking of
our movie experience? You know what I'm speaking of.
The GCU? I'm just kidding. The MCU?
The GSU?
The GSU. That's what it was. The GSU. Garden Shed Universe.
Yes, for those of you who don't know, we went to go see 50 Shades of Grey. It was very good. Very informative.
Yeah.
No, we went to see Spider-Man. We saw Spider-Man.
Okay. I was going to roll with it.
She's like, okay.
I wore my cute pajamas when we went to see 50 Shades. Aris was all over me.
Yeah. Brought you those chocolates. But I also like had the handcuffs. It was a good time.
Aris?
Don't tell them about that.
Aris.
Stop.
Okay. Spider-Man.
So it was your second time seeing it, right?
Yeah, I'm a bastard. I saw it twice.
No, but I got to see it with you, and it was such a great experience.
It was awesome. I cried. First time, definitely. When I saw...
understand.
Obviously, I think the big crying moment is... who died? Wait, I can't remember. I'm drawing a blank.
Or are you talking about Green Goblin? Or who are you talking about?
Somebody died. Oh, Aunt May died.
Oh.
Aunt May died. So that's obviously like...
I know. I am surprised that they did
really
that.
Need to do all that? He already didn't have Uncle Ben. It was like, bro.
Part of me wonders, though, if they might try to bring her back. Because, I mean, it is sci-fi, you know what I mean? Because they could, if they wanted to.
Well,
but as we saw with Andrew Garfield, right?
The multiverse is getting weird lately.
They never brought back his girlfriend, so you never know. It's hard to say.
I don't know. I can't speculate.
I did see on social media today, though, that there was people asking Andrew Garfield, would you come back and make a third Spider-Man movie? And he was like, where were you guys all these years ago? Like, I totally would have wanted to.
I can't say where or how credible, but I've heard rumors on the internet that he's going to be in the future MCU somehow.
That would be good.
I don't know if it's a spin-off or he's going to reappear in Tom Holland's. Some multiverse thing again, but anyways.
Maybe they'll actually say that they love him back this time. Because I think that was a big heartbreak for me. Dude. When he's like, I love you guys. And they're like,
and they're just like, yeah. I was bummed.
I was like, no.
They were jerks to him. He was like the sweetest out of all three of them.
I know. I know. He lost Gwen, dude. He lost Gwen.
Dude,
and that was the one he loved. And he's telling them, he's opening his heart up. He's telling them, I love you. And they're like,
wrenching. Honestly. I forgot how good those Garfield movies was.
Seeing him though, when he tries to stop him from killing Green Goblin, like that right there was a really big moment. Yeah, because you could tell he's like, I'm not gonna let you.
Oh yeah. And then when Tom Holland's MJ was falling, he was like,
oh, I know.
He was like, I got you, dude. This ain't happening again.
Yeah.
That was cool. I know. But I don't know. I feel like Andrew Garfield.
Because I think Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield were phenomenal in it. I love seeing both of them, especially Tobey, because I hadn't seen him in so long, and that's what I grew up on.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I cried. So a second ago, I was saying I cried, teared up for Aunt May when she died.
Yeah.
And then when I saw Tobey, bawled. I was like, he's back.
It's been so long.
That's Spider-Man.
It's been so long.
If you ask me who's Spider-Man, that's fucking Spider-Man.
That is Spider-Man.
And that's just because our age, I guess.
It is.
Right?
When we were kids, that was the Spider-Man. Yeah.
And it was crazy, dude. I felt so much nostalgia.
So great. Much. Well, for both of them when they came on, though, but especially Tobey.
And they brought him in sick because I don't know why. He just looked at Andrew Garfield and he squared up and was like, what's up then? And they both did the same move, like, they did a side flip.
I know, yeah.
And I was like, oh, he still got it. He's like, what, late 30s or 40s?
Yeah, son.
He still got it.
Still got it.
Side flip real quick. Tobey Maguire, dude, came through.
Honestly. The whole movie, though, I mean, bringing back the villains, too, I thought that was such a cool concept. Yeah. We got to see Doc Ock. I was so excited to see him.
Yes. Yeah, those movies, they crushed it back in the day, in the early 2000s. And so we saw that in the trailer.
Mm-hmm.
We saw Doc Ock. We saw the Green Goblin. A little grenade. That was in the trailer.
Because you kind of assume, and there's a laugh, I think, too.
Yeah, there was a laugh or something. Mm-hmm. So that, and the whole, before I saw the movie, I was like, honestly, I didn't know how I felt about it. I was kind of like, I don't know how I feel about when they just bring back old content, but then
they made it work though.
That's what I was gonna get to. When they make it work, it's like, okay, cool, because there is still a lot of available content in these characters that supposedly already died off. But like, if you were able to bring back Green Goblin and Doc Ock and whatever,
But they even
into the new modern
they
MCU.
were even able to like heal or like change some of the villains too.
There could be new storylines in the MCU
right.
because of what they did.
Yeah.
So that's kind of cool. I like the Sandman one. He was something happened with like his daughter. He got fucked over. He was just a guy, a cool guy. Most of them they're all just like guys.
Mm-hmm. All dead though.
Oh, because of Spider-Man.
Yeah. But that's a really interesting one, right? Because you have the older Spider-Man that are like, well, like I'm not gonna let you kill someone, right? Because that's gonna change you. Because Tobey Maguire really was like, that changes you, right? And Andrew Garfield really understood the loss of the person that you love most, which is why he saved MJ.
Yeah. It's epic, dude.
So it's overall really good.
It's an epic film.
Yeah.
Great storyline. Very complex. Could you imagine writing something like that? With all that pressure?
I know.
To like, okay, we gotta make the fans happy. We're pulling strings and spending a ton of money to get Andrew Garfield back and Tobey Maguire.
Mm-hmm. And all those villains.
Liam Neeson.
Yeah. And you already know that's probably one of the most
God.
high-budget movies that's been made to date.
No, I fucked up.
Just because
Willem Dafoe.
Yeah.
Willem Dafoe. I said the wrong name.
You know what? I heard him in an interview, and he actually said that that's not how his last name's supposed to be pronounced.
Oh.
It's just how people started calling him, and he just went for it.
How do you say Dafoe?
Yeah. There's a video of him.
Dafoe.
There's a video of him in acting school, and he says, "Hello, my name is William Dafoe," but everyone started calling
Willem.
him. Yeah. Willem Dafoe.
Yeah.
So everyone started calling him that. And what's funny is when someone asked him about it, he was like, "I was a confused kid." Like, what?
I'm just trying to make it out here, man.
Saying your name right? Like, I feel like someone else can't tell you, like, you were confused. But he just goes by it now. Just seems like a really just chill guy.
I got you, Dafoe. We're boys. Have you seen The Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou?
I have not.
Okay, next podcast we will be reviewing the movie The Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou, starring Bill Murray and Willem Dafoe.
It's Bill fucking Murray.
It's Bill goddamn motherfucking King Murray. I love Bill Murray.
I'm excited if it's Bill Murray.
It's a great movie. You know Wes Anderson?
Yeah.
It's a Wes Anderson film.
Oh, then it's definitely gonna be good.
Like, it's in my top. It's probably my favorite movie of all time, and I've seen a lot of movies, dude.
You know what I just saw recently, rewatched? You're never gonna guess. It's an old movie. It's a cartoon. Osmosis Jones.
I just watched that!
No, you didn't!
Yeah,
dude, it came up on Netflix for me and I rewatched it.
I swear.
It's so good.
It's so good.
It's so good.
I thought the same thing. I was like, this is so underrated. They need to remake this.
And I remember watching that in school. I don't remember what class. I'm assuming a science class. But we watched it in school.
I just watched it at home. Like, it was great.
Yeah. Really
Bill Murray was disgusting.
He was. Dude, but what's up?
I was thinking the whole time.
I couldn't believe the teacher in the movie the whole time. She's just like getting a restraining order, like, keep your dad away from me. I'm like, I know he threw up on you, but that's a little dramatic, man.
The zip pop.
Oh, the zip pop in her mouth. In her mouth.
He's just like chewing food, and the camera like goes down his throat, and then goes into osmosis.
Into the cartoon universe. And
Super cool movie.
Yeah. And their interpretation of health and everything. Yeah. Like, because the body's like overheating, the city's on fire, and it's like crumbling down, and I'm like, oh. Or like when he gets the
virus,
the leg cramp, and you just see the muscle like come down and crush the city.
I think there was like workers, like city workers out in the throat, like clearing out.
Oh yeah, and they had like
bacteria.
They had like guys on like turrets taking out any pollens or anything that came into the nose.
Awesome to think about. Like, you have a whole. Was it a city or like a...
It was a city because they had a mayor. There was the mayor of the city.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a big ass city inside you. That's pretty cool.
But it was so interesting too how the mayor of the city was so much more worried about getting reelected.
I know, it was like so political.
And I was like, oh
for
man,
a kid's movie.
That's kind of what real life is like. Yeah. Oh, you know what it kind of reminds me of? I'm pretty sure you saw this movie, but don't look up.
Yeah.
It's sort of like that, right? Because it's all about this, like, Pierre's not going to get destroyed. It's like, but we're going to make sure that we get reelected, right? And that movie is so aimed at, like, liberal propaganda at Trump supporters. And
now we're jumping into a review of Don't Look Up.
So good. It's so good. Because literally the whole time you're like, that's Trump. You know that's Trump, and that's Trump Jr.
You know what they're talking about.
Her son is Trump Jr., and that's Trump.
Basically.
But the best thing to me in the movie was how they had social media trends. Like, they were having the, like, launch the rocket in your face thing, and that just became a whole TikTok, and everyone's like, I'm gonna do the rocket challenge. Yeah. Like, why would that actually happen? Why would something like...
You'd be surprised. That? You'd be surprised.
Yeah. Like Tide Pods.
Kids were eating Tide Pods.
Same, like, all those other ones.
People are kind of...
Snorting cinnamon powder or whatever. Yeah.
I didn't snort it, but I ate it.
Oh.
Did you ever do the...
No, I didn't do the cinnamon.
Ate like a spoonful?
Mm-mm.
It's a terrible experience.
Was it spicy?
No, it's really dry.
Oh, it's dry.
It just, like, absorbs every little molecule of moisture in your mouth, and then you kind of freak out. And you're like cough and inhale, and it's just like
oh wow,
powder, just like cinnamon powder. You're just like
when I was
parched.
When I was at Starbucks,
choking.
When I was still working at Starbucks, I had a something with the pumpkin spice cold foam, and I don't know. I don't know. It was the powder, right? Because the pumpkin cream cold foam gets that pumpkin powder. And someone's like, oh, I made you a little sample drink or something, right? And I'm like, ah, great. Lifts down mask, goes to drink, and I guess I inhaled. I don't know, but I went, no, this is the worst part. I inhaled right as I was taking the drink, and I couldn't breathe, and I spat out, dude, but I was on the floor. I was outside on the floor, and I look over at my shift. Yes, dude, I know. I literally look at my shift and I'm like, I'm so sorry, Raymond. I'm going to go clean it up right now. And he literally comes out with a mop and he's cleaning. I'm like, let me just do it. He's like, it's fine. We just have to get it clean. The one time I took a drink on the floor, just eject it out of my mouth right onto the wall, dude.
Damn.
You know what? At least it wasn't like Bill Murray and spraying it in someone's mouth. I don't think I would have still had a job. I think I would have been fired if I spat in someone's mouth.
Wait, what are you talking about? Bill Murray?
In Osmosis Jones.
Oh,
if you would have
okay.
Like right like that, you're just spraying out liquid into a customer's mouth, you'd be fired.
Oh.
I'd just quit, honestly. I wouldn't even want to deal with like if there was a report or anything.
Now you'd be fired. But when was that filmed? Fucking 2001, 2, 3.
Yeah.
What a time.
What a time to be alive.
Dude, we're bouncing around topics like a motherfucker right now. I know, but it's great. We're ripping.
We're hitting a lot of stuff.
I think we're buzzed. I'm buzzed.
I'm a little buzzed. A little bit.
I'm already too deep.
You know what? No, real quick though, I do want to go back to Don't Look Up.
Okay.
So, it's really interesting to me how they obviously made it political, right? And you have the social media stuff, but then they also made it political in the sense of economics. Right, because they were like, oh, we can make money off of an asteroid that's going to potentially destroy the Earth. Like, what is the chances of that?
We need the precious metals. We need to fucking mine that asteroid.
Yeah.
No, that's like a future industry in real life.
And I couldn't understand why all the other countries in the world couldn't blow it up. Like, Russia has so many nukes. You can't tell me all the other countries in the world combined couldn't have blown it up without the U.S. support.
Well, the thing is they kind of... It was a little unrealistic because it's a movie. They want a good story. I think it was like 6 months that they had.
Yeah, they had 6 months.
I think we could see it before that. And even if we did have 6 months, like we have...
It can be hard, though. Space is so big. And you're trying to look for something that's not really going to be lit up. It's... Something like an asteroid's not going to be like lit up like a star, right? So you're almost trying to see either the sun reflecting off of it or it coming across another star and blocking out the light.
And they can see that.
That'd be so hard to see.
Dude, they can see that shit.
I don't know. I could easily understand why you wouldn't know until 6 months out. I think that's pretty realistic.
Okay, I see what you mean.
Like, well, consider the fact that we only recently discovered all those outer planets past Pluto, right? Like, we only recently discovered Sirius, the big asteroid, which we're now calling a dwarf planet, and Aris and all those other planets out there. Or planetoids.
Yeah, like what, the 80s, 90s? Or more.
Well, some of those I think are more recent.
Yeah.
Like pretty recent. And we just recently redefined the definition of a planet, or at least planetologists are trying to. Because remember, we redefined it, and Pluto is no longer a planet. And that was determined by astrophysicists.
Shut up, Pluto.
I know. It's a binary planet.
Pluto's a planet in my heart.
But
when I was a child, it was number 9.
The people who defined it was astrophysicists and astronomers. That sounds legit, right? But you know who didn't get invited to that meeting to determine the definition and disagree with that definition and have a different one?
What, like astronomers?
Planetologists. Planetary scientists, the people who determine what a planet is and examine planets. Like, right? Astronomers mostly look at stars and phenomena in space. Sometimes planets, don't get me wrong, but it's a lot more about the math. And astrophysicists are looking at the physics of space, still related to planets, but not as directly as the definition. Planetary scientists, planetology itself is about planets. They should be defining it. If they were not invited and they disagree,
do you know what the new
I think there's something to it.
Definition of the planet was?
It had to do with clearing its own debris field, and technically Pluto, Sirius, because Sirius is in the in-between section in the asteroid belt, in between Mars and Jupiter. And then you have a secondary... It's sort of similar to the asteroid belt. I guess it's like a second asteroid belt, and it goes all the way out, past all the outer planets.
After Pluto?
And that's where Pluto is. It technically sits in it. And the other thing, when you're watching the planets orbit, they're going, circular around the sun, technically like an elliptical pattern. But Pluto almost kind of goes up at an angle and then goes back down. Like it's not flat with all the other planets.
Oh.
So it's actually going at a different trajectory, I guess you could say.
Man, don't diss Pluto like that.
But the other thing that's interesting is Pluto has that big moon. And it's technically not just a moon. They're a binary planet system. It's 50% of the mass, the size of Pluto, and they're orbiting each other in a way that it makes them binary planets. So it's a binary planet. Yeah.
Sounds like boobs.
I think you're just buzzed.
The next topic.
But isn't that interesting to think about, though? We didn't really know about these like outer planets for a long time. And that just goes to show how easy it is to miss something in our own solar system. So you could very easily miss an asteroid. You could very easily miss it until it's about 6 months out.
What was that thing? It had a weird name, but it was like a long object that came from outside of our solar system and passed through, remember?
Oh, we know. What are you talking
2
about?
years ago, it was called Amanu Ganu or something.
I have no idea. This is
you don't know what I'm talking about. Okay, it's this long cylindrical. It was like a rock, meteor. But it was huge, massive, and there's all these conspiracy theories that it's like something alien, or there's some kind of life on it, or it was like could have been a probe disguised as a meteor, blah blah blah. But it definitely came from outside of our solar system. But I think it's backing you up right now because we didn't detect it. First, we thought it was something else, or like we lost sight of it because it was in the shadows. It's not
visible.
It doesn't have any light. It's just reflecting whatever it might get.
Exactly, yeah.
And then we picked it up, and it was like this big-ass thing flying through our solar system. We were like,
yeah, no, it can be hard to see.
What the hell is that?
You could very easily miss it. So I think there is some accuracies to Don't Look Up in that sense.
What's that thing called? Yeah, Don't Look Up.
At the very end was funny too, though, where they all like arrive on the planet.
The end was hilarious.
They're just butt naked. You know what it reminded me of?
Oh my god.
The Garden of Eden, in a way. It just kind of had this Garden of Eden kind of feeling.
I think that was kind of the symbolism.
And then they just get eaten.
Wrecked.
They get wrecked right away.
Oh my god, that was
so
great.
fast.
And the Tim Cook, like the leader guy, is just like, okay, everybody, blah, blah, blah. It's gonna be fine. I think we just need to. And then they just come in like raptors.
I know. They're just taken out. And that's so what happened to
spinal cords.
That's so what happened to. I have a surprise for you. So we're gonna do our surprise.
I forgot!
I forgot!
He got me a surprise. Well, not got me a surprise. I don't know.
It's gonna be a surprise though. So last episode, we talked about doing a tarot card reading.
We're gonna
go ahead and do it.
Now we're getting deep.
So what I'm gonna have you do
That's what she said.
is go ahead and just shuffle these what we're doing is we're just putting your energy in it right now. So just go ahead and shuffle it. And for any of you interested in watching, you can see the deck. It's kind of a black and white deck. It sort of has a kind of ye old sort of look.
Aris, I think you need to give our listeners a little bit of background on like what you do with these and your kind of your abilities.
Yes. So I am a construction worker, and I do magic on the side. I don't know.
That
got me. So I have my own business where I do things like shamanism. I do Reiki. I'm a janitor. You know, just all. No, I'm just kidding. But I also do stuff like
teacher,
a DJ, an astronaut. Just keep running through.
I'm in a band.
I am in a band though. 7 Days Rest. Check us out. No, but
7 Days Rest on social media and YouTube. Check them out.
Spotify, Apple Music, all of the above.
7 Days Rest. My guy over here.
We're gonna be checking out the music studio soon, and we're gonna be making a video about that. Going and taking a look at what it looks like to record in a professional music studio. Because we're over there right now.
It's so sick. It's a nice studio.
It's a really nice studio.
Got to tune back in for the vlog coming up for the professional music studio tour.
Let's get those cards. Let's check them out. So, besides doing energy work, if we want to call it that, I also do tarot, I do runes, Reiki, palmistry, and astrology.
This guy.
I'm going to be maybe making my own channel here soon where I can start doing that kind of work, but I want to also make more videos for GSP so that we can start doing work within that. So if you guys are interested,
GSP Sidekick Army, let us know down in the comments.
Or go on social media and go ahead and start joining our community.
You guys seriously need to help us out here. Throw us a bone.
Okay, so
go to our Instagram, Shetty Boys.
We're going to go ahead and get started with our reading. We're just going to go ahead and do a basic 4-card spread. So essentially what we have right here.
Okay, so for our audio listeners, if you're not caught up, Aris has brought us tarot cards.
Yes.
And I have shuffled them, and now he drew 4
so let's go ahead.
For me.
I'm just going to have you describe what the first card looks like. Say what the name of it is.
The first card is King of Cups.
Okay, what does it look like?
And
what's going on?
Dude in a throne with a crown. Half naked. He looks just like me.
Looks just like him.
He's got an octopus.
That might be Jay.
Octopus is my favorite
So
animal.
here's the thing. When I'm going to examine this, and I'll make it easy for people who don't know anything about reading tarot, this is in my past position, right? And the one next to it's going to be present, future, and then just advice. So this first one, when I'm looking at it, I'm seeing a guy staring off into space. He's kind of just looking off. There's a boat out there. I don't know, is the boat going to be important? But he's staring off. So maybe in the past it's saying not paying attention. Maybe it's about sitting because he's sitting there in the throne, sitting idly by. There's also this octopus next to him. So maybe that's busy. There's a lot of things going on, right? But it's on a rocky shore to me, so that's really rocky. Yes. And it seems like the boat, that indicates to me if you're thinking like voyage, journey, but it's coming back.
Yes.
So maybe if this is talking about the past, maybe it's talking about you coming back to New Mexico, coming back to your mom when you were out in California, right?
Absolutely.
So we're thinking in the past.
I'm still in.
So the thing is, though, I don't want to just start reading that. You got to read the whole thing before I give you the whole story. Now this next one is really interesting. You have the King of Cups and the Queen of Cups, and we shuffled this. I've used this deck before with other people. It's not just that it happens to be right next to each other. The Queen of Cups is looking right at him, right? So,
dude, she's hot. Let me see.
Describe the Queen of Cups. Give us something for our audio listeners.
Wow. So we got a baddie over here. She's sitting by the ocean. She's got like a rock throne, a crown, a goblet, flowing hair.
She's right by the ocean too, right?
She's right by the ocean, and there's 2 mermaids right behind her, like in the throne.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful scene. I want that. I'll marry her. Is that my queen?
So if we're thinking about this...
Sorry, I'm getting a little ahead of myself.
If we're thinking about this together, we're thinking now we have something going on in the present, but we also can just look at these 2 cards together. The King and the Queen are quite literally looking at each other. So maybe now we're starting to think something like the Lovers, right? We're kind of thinking these 2 cards that maybe are supposed to be coming together. So it's a female influence, right? And this is at the present. So maybe we're thinking about a romantic interest, right? Initially I was thinking maybe it's your mom. And maybe this could be your mom, but almost in a way I'm starting to think maybe it's more of a romantic interest. So if you're thinking present, maybe it's either someone current within the last, week or two, or it could be someone in the next week or two. We could be looking at maybe some sort of new fulfilling relationship with some sort.
I have no idea what you speak of, Aris. I've never had any romantic relations inside the garden shed.
Jay is into men and can't seem to pick up a guy from the bar. So, we're looking at future right here. So we have Pentacles, and that's going to be 7 of Pentacles. So go ahead, describe it.
There's a gardener.
Garden shed,
This looks like a garden. This looks like me out back in the garden, outside the garden shed, hoeing the dirt, getting some hose.
Getting dirty.
Planting my seeds.
You definitely want to plant your seeds. So in a way, that to me is seeming to indicate the garden shed, right? You're coming back to New Mexico in the past. Presently, there seems to be some sort of female-influenced relationship that's coming into your life, or has just come into your life recently. Then you have in the future garden shed.
Oh, jeez.
So maybe it's almost saying don't. Well, maybe it's saying, I don't know though. I don't know, but maybe it's saying don't focus so much on the here and now with maybe this potential female influence. Don't get distracted, but focus on the future with the garden shed. Or maybe that's not what it's saying at all. Maybe it's not saying it's a block. Maybe this girl's going to help you. Or maybe it's just indicating just very bluntly, this is what's happening. This is just bare minimum what's happening. They don't even have to be totally connected.
Yeah.
Next card we're going to look at, though.
Absolutely. Oh, my God, you guys. This guy is the real fucking deal.
It's upside down, too. So I'm
subscribe.
I'm going to go ahead and hand this over to Jay. But just note this card was upside down. So there's going to be some sort of reverse meaning or negative meaning.
Oh, no.
So it's advice. So describe to me what you're looking at when you're looking at that guy.
That looks like the Pope.
Kind of does, right? It's like a bishop of some sort or something.
2 dudes kneeling next to him. They look like friars with some shitty-ass haircuts. Ready to...
But they're like praying down by him, right? And he's standing tall? This guy?
Yeah.
Let me see.
He's cool. He's alright. I like the other cards. What does that one mean? Just give it to me straight.
You know what it is?
What's the news, Doc?
It's about faith. It's literally a religious dude. These guys are praying. It's about faith. This is advice. It's upside down. Maybe you're not having faith that your dreams are going to succeed with the garden shed. You can't have second thoughts. You got to manifest what you want. Talk about manifesting on the show. Manifesting, you just need to tell the universe what you want, or God, or whatever you want to call it.
I have faith in the garden shed.
You got to have faith in the garden shed. You know what we're going to do?
Faith in the garden shed?
We're going to leave that card out as a reminder. That way you remember to have faith in the garden shed.
Do you have faith in the garden shed?
GSP for life.
GSP
Ride or die.
For life.
How was that reading, though? How was that reading?
Okay, aside from our little scuttle there. That was a really, really accurate and intense reading. I got some goosies. Some little goose nipples. I mean, bumps.
Yeah, I know. Well, for
because it's very relevant. Obviously, you know me and my life, what's going on, but the fact that you pulled these cards in that order and they're facing each other.
After you shuffled them, right?
I shuffled them.
All I did was put them down. That's
incredibly relevant to the
to the show, but also to your life.
The things that occupy my mind the most is that those things that you pointed out. It's basically my love interests and this show and my career. It's like that's all I can think about, man.
That's all you gotta worry
about.
I mean,
I do struggle with confidence and taking the plunge.
Yeah.
Going full send. But I don't know, man.
Well, for anyone who wants more readings,
there's a lot to do.
You gotta let us know.
Lots of work to do.
We could do more readings.
Yeah, Aris is a psychic.
We can start doing readings for the audience. Even doesn't even just have to be for us.
Do I have to call you Jedi Master Aris now?
Yes, young Padawan.
Fuck.
Well, and if anybody wants a reading, then definitely go ahead and look me up. The name of my business is All in the Hands. Maybe it's a gay reference. Maybe it's not. Definitely not. It's definitely not. A lot of people think, though. They're like, oh, I don't know what kind of service he's providing here. But I'm on Facebook, about to make my website. You guys can book readings. I'll even put a link and our social media. So definitely follow us on social media, so that way you can find out all the greatest news and all of our links to everything that we have.
We're giving up on the gig on Who's Who.
Oh, we have a Patreon now.
He's Aris, I'm Jay.
We have a Patreon. We're gonna start making merch. So for anyone that's interested in merch coming soon.
You guys have some faith in your old pals here, J-Dog and Aris.
We're gonna get you through it. I need a better name than that, because you're J-Dog, and then you just Aris needs something cool. We need something cool. Well, think of it. Okay, maybe if you have ideas.
Look, my friend Austin, he's A-Dog.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay, well, that's fine, because the A-Dog and J-Dog, that's kind of weird. Like, I want to be something.
Okay.
You got to think about it, though. Or, like I said, though,
help us out, guys.
Comment down below. Comment on social media.
I don't have to be J-Dog, but it's
yeah. Does this look like a J? Does this look like an Aris? I don't know.
No, I said a minute ago. The gag is up.
They know.
They know.
They know.
I'm Jay. He's Aris. Because we need to plug you on your own stuff.
That's true. That's true.
Go find me on Instagram. Hook it
hey,
up.
And you know what? Maybe Jay will have some music coming out soon.
Yes.
I know he's been talking about it. I've been listening to
Jay
a
will
lot
have
of
music
stuff.
very soon. Indie pop, bedroom pop. Everybody's giving me very positive feedback.
Start hearing it.
On what I've made so far.
What you heard at the beginning of the episode was a little bit of music for me. But we together we made the intro for this podcast. So
yeah, that was such a fun
with stuff here in the studio.
That is the whole essence that we haven't got to really talk about yet.
What is the garden shed?
What is a garden shed?
What is our mission statement?
Yes. What are we trying to achieve here? We're trying to achieve whatever we possibly can with whatever means that we have.
Because it's not just Garden Shed Podcast, it's Garden Shed Productions.
Garden Shed Productions.
A production company. To be able to do music, to be able to do film, to be able to do whatever we want. We could do more YouTube videos. We can do more podcasts.
But I wanted to stress the fact that you don't need fancy cameras. You don't need equipment.
You can have a sock condom.
We have
right there.
iPhones, microphones. Okay, I worked hard at Starbucks. I saved up my paycheck. I bought whatever microphone I could afford. I have an iPhone.
So far, the hardest thing.
That's all we have.
So far, the hardest thing
has just
been all the RSS stuff. So for those of you that are out there like, I want to make a podcast, it's a lot of work. I didn't know how much work it was going to be.
The hardest thing was getting an RSS feed and uploading it to Apple Podcasts.
But it's so worth it. Because then we can bring all this to you guys. So for anyone who wants to make your own podcast, don't think it's impossible.
It's very achievable, very easy. Follow your dreams. Fucking go do it. If there's something you want...
Just do it!
That's what I've been realizing lately. If there's something I want, you just have to go get it. Because think about the other things that you want in your life that you easily go get. You just you reschedule your life and you do what you have to do to go get these simple things. Obviously, making $100,000.
You could always make excuses for why you don't have time or why you're not going to do it.
Exactly, dude. If there's something you want, you got to go get it.
So Shia LaBeouf once said.
So now I'm homeless.
Just do it.
Just do it! I love that.
So we were gonna do a review, as we mentioned earlier.
Now it's prime time, baby. As I said before, I DM'd my boy LP and KSI.
You didn't DM
and they were like, yo, J-Dog, J Bones.
I'm Jay's only friend. So
J Busy Bones. What's up? I got you, dude. I know you're a big YouTuber now, so here's a full case of Prime.
And then he said, please leave me alone and never talk to me again.
My man.
Actually, in fact, I don't think he responded. I think he just blocked him.
We got orange. We got lemon lime, blue raspberry, tropical punch. We got the new Prime by Logan Paul and KSI.
Are we trying all of them right now? Is that what we're doing?
We're trying all of them right now.
All of them right now.
We're sharing.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Which one are you going to start with?
I'm shaking it up. Well, you pick one, I'll pick one.
Okay, so I'll do blue raspberry. It's already on the side,
we'll switch.
That works.
We'll try it and we'll switch.
Yeah.
I got orange. What do you got?
I got blue raspberry. Okay, let's see. So I'm looking at the back on the nutritional facts. Let's see. We have 25 calories. It's pretty low in sodium, only 10 milligrams. Carbohydrates, 6 grams. It's got a little bit of sugar, but it's only 2 grams of sugar.
This is great.
And when I'm looking at all these vitamins...
Tons of vitamins A.
Vitamin A, potassium. Potassium is good for muscles because that's what's going to cause muscle spasms and things
B6,
like that.
vitamin
it's got good magnesium. So all these...
Zinc.
all these vitamin B and magnesium and zinc. That's actually called a BC or a ZMA, which is a type of workout supplement.
Oh yeah.
And then when you're looking over here,
BCAAs.
Yeah.
And it's 10% coconut water apparently.
Oh, and if you look down in ingredients,
that's what KSI said.
It has some isolates in it, so it's actually going to also have a BCAA, which is another workout supplement that you can take.
I said that.
So it doesn't have protein or anything, but honestly, other than that,
no, yeah, it's not.
This is really good
like
for
that.
This is good for helping your muscles. Like if you're having muscle aches from working out, it's also going to help a little bit with muscle growth.
Sure.
So take it on your off days. You want to take it on the off days.
This is
not
a good
the days that you go.
Hydration beverage. There's not a whole lot of.
Not super high sodium, which is good. It's
key
not
achievement.
Dry you out at the same time.
The way they're marketing it is a lifestyle beverage.
Oh, okay.
An everyday hydration beverage.
I'm smelling this.
Is it good?
It's pretty good. It's very fruity.
Yeah?
It smells sweet.
Okay, let me get into the orange.
Okay, I'm going to try a little, see.
Oh, smell. Okay, honestly, it smells like orange Gatorade.
Oh, I'm
just going to say that.
This is good. The blue raspberry is a good time.
Oh.
Here.
Oh, we're in business.
You try this one. I felt like we need like a palate rinse.
Kind of watery.
A little bit.
But that's the idea.
Because I think it is supposed to be hydrating.
It's hydration.
Water anyway.
It's 10% coconut water. Gatorade is packed with
sugar.
sugar.
This one does smell a little bit more like Gatorade-y. But it's almost kind of like those orange drinks.
This one's
like Sunny D. It kind of smells like Sunny D a little.
This one's great. Wow.
Well, the orange is smooth. The orange is really smooth.
The blue raspberry is fire.
These are really sweet.
Damn.
I'm feeling like, is there artificial sweetener?
I don't know how they're getting away with
this
that.
This is super sweet for only 2 grams.
What are you hiding from me, LP? You told me in my DMs that it was all gravy and that there's not a lot of sugar.
I don't know. I don't really see anything.
2 grams of sugar? You're high.
I don't, yeah.
Apparently he quit smoking weed, so I don't know.
It's good, though. Coconut water. It's coconut water. Look at that. Filtered water, citric acid, coconut water.
I gotta hand it to him, man. For these...
That's pretty good.
Fucking kids that were just blew up on YouTube. To just be able to make a product like this, it's mind-blowing, dude. I thought they were just gonna be YouTubers forever. Boxers, YouTubers. Who thought they would get into the space to compete with Gatorade?
Sky's the limit for GSP, then.
Sky is the goddamn limit for GSP, dude. We're making a sports drink, fuckers. Watch out.
We're coming for you. Okay, next up, I'm gonna try this tropical punch.
That blue raspberry is so good. I really like
the blue raspberry was super
I really
good.
like that one.
I'm excited for the tropical punch though, because I like a good tropical punch kind of thing.
Okay.
Let's see.
Well, the tropical punch Gatorade is like a staple for most kids.
This is like high C. It kind of smells like that.
Okay, I got lemon lime. My next one.
Let's see. I'm gonna try
green. That. By the way, I love the packaging and the labeling. It's very simple, cool. I like the heavy on the color, not a lot of fuckery.
Yeah.
It's cool, simple.
It does. It works in Prime. I mean, that's a cool name.
Yeah, it is a cool name. I don't know what it...
And it's simple. The font, too.
If it means anything, but
the font is just very straightforward. It's nothing fancy. It works really well. You know what?
My first thought was like, it's kind of cheesy, but now I'm like, Prime.
This tastes
That's cool as
shit.
This
tastes like Kool-Aid. This one?
Kool-Aid?
This actually this tropical punch one tastes like Kool-Aid.
Bro, kind of tastes like Gatorade.
Oh, you know what I'm noticing?
Lime
this one has,
like
these
Gatorade.
2 have more calories. These ones are 25. Your 2 are only 20. So they're just a little bit different depending on which one you get.
This is the skinny side over here. Interesting. That's weird. Based on flavor, there's less calories.
Let me try that one.
Maybe it's like natural flavors. Yeah.
This is good though.
That's very Gatorade-like. However, the aftertaste is more.
It's crazy.
Coconut water and vitamins.
Colors. It says there's no artificial.
Gatorade
colors,
just doesn't have that.
But that one's red.
The aftertaste on Gatorade is just sugar and salt.
It's so salty. It dehydrates you as much as it hydrates you.
This smells like like a good, solid fruit punch. High C.
This one's not as strong of a smell. It's a very subtle smell.
Really?
To me, yeah. The light kind of lime.
This is fucking bomb, too. Oh, fruit punch.
You want to do that one? I think I'm going to do the blue
Okay,
raspberry.
we're going to... I was going to lie. I was going to say that. We did try a fruit punch prime the other day.
It's pretty good. We didn't try the other ones,
We
though.
had a 5th bottle of fruit punch. We tried it the other day.
It just looked too good.
I had so to try
it. But honestly, I wish you would have got the blue raspberry, dude. This one's one of your favorite.
We need to get some more blue ones.
This is a good one.
Those are pretty good. So, what are your favorite? Okay, there's one more that we haven't tried. There's a purple grape one. We'll get to that, I guess.
I want you to grape me in the mouth.
Okay.
Do you know that video? Did you ever watch that video?
Shut the cap. No. Oh.
So it was this video
Aris.
that was on back in the day. And it was this guy who called himself the grapist. And his line was, "I'm gonna tie you to the radiator and grape you in the mouth."
And
it was like kids and like parents. He like busts through the wall like the Kool-Aid Man. And he's just like, "I'm gonna grape you in the mouth." What's great though in the video, it's actually a guy and he's just trying to do a sales pitch.
I was gonna
No. He's just a sales pitch. And my guy's just doing a sales pitch to these other guys, and they're kind of like, "I don't know. It sounds a little inappropriate." And he's like, "How is it inappropriate, right?" And then he's like, "Because, you're saying you're going to grape him in the mouth." And he's like, "Yeah, he's the grapist. That's what he does." And he has to explain. He's like,
chill. He's the grapist.
Grape. And he's like, "Oh, ew. Why would you even suggest that? It's a kid's video. Why would you even suggest that?" Right? And then one of the other guys is like, "I don't know, man. This is a great one. I think we should go with it." Pretty good.
I don't
We're going to have to watch it sometime.
Okay,
I'm not going to watch it on here react because there's kids in it.
Okay, yeah.
But it's kid
Nothing
actors.
to do with the R
to be
word
fair,
or
it is
kids.
actors because it is for a video. So we'll have to see.
Okay.
Either way, we want to start reacting to some videos. So if you guys have any suggestions,
please
definitely let us know.
hit us up on Instagram. Send us some reels. Send us some TikToks.
Or if you have any
hit us up
YouTube
on
videos,
Twitter.
We'll react to them.
We need something funny or disgusting or crazy or awesome.
Or all the above.
Or if you can find one that's all of those things,
you know what? Too,
I'll probably pay you.
We could even react to like film stuff, like a short film or something like that. If it's like a really nice quality video, because I can tell you guys all about acting, and Jay is really great with film. He can
tell you about cinematography,
and, all that. So we can go ahead and walk you guys through that. We
That
want
would
to
be
start.
awesome. Actually, I know a couple of great short films we could watch right now, but I didn't know.
we could even make some videos about us making short films, so that way you guys can see what that looks like, what it looks like to make a film.
We're gonna have
to work with actors,
help us out, and do some behind the scenes.
Yeah, definitely.
That's gonna be
Cool.
Cool. Something to look forward to. GSP. Dude, I'm going back to these primes. These are so good.
They are pretty good. The blue raspberry is my favorite now.
Damn you, Logan Paul.
This is good. I didn't think I was gonna like it.
I used to want to hate him, but now I'm like, what am I gonna do? He just keeps being successful, so it's
well, we're just gonna have to be just as successful. So we're gonna talk about in other news,
that's good.
and switch over to our new segment. So about a current event that's going on right now.
Hit me.
I'm assuming by now you've heard about what's going on with Ukraine, right?
Oh yeah.
So
you were
it's
telling me
really looking like Russia is going to be invading. Now here's what I found out more recently.
Okay.
England and the United States are pulling out everyone from the country, all the Brits and all the Americans.
Wait,
so like anyone in an embassy or their families or anything like that.
What the fuck?
And here's the interesting thing. No one wants to actually step in physically and do anything. The European Union, the EU, is sending them like 1.2 billion euros, I think. Like 1.6 or something like that. Go massive number. I think it's like 1.2.
That's a lot of euros.
But that's just money, right? And I think the United States is sending them like supplies, like guns and vehicles, I think.
Oh.
But we're not physically going in. Because why don't we want to go in like with NATO or something, right? And prevent them from wanting to cross in. just really messy. But here's the interesting part: the EU isn't pulling out any of their diplomats. They're staying in their embassies. England and the United States are, but the rest of Europe is keeping all of their diplomats there in Kiev, the capital of Ukraine.
Kiev.
It'd be really interesting though if Russia does invade, are they going to step in, or are they just going to pull their diplomats out? Because that can get messy. We've seen that with American embassies, trying to get the ambassador and all the other group out. Whenever there's actually turmoil going on in the country, it's always messy.
It was very messy. Back when I grew up in Ukraine.
But it's crazy to me too that we're seeing Russia starting to act like the Soviet Union again.
The fatherland.
Getting really
Russia.
Materialistic and wanting to actually fight people and try to conquer.
It is strange that it happens in this day and age.
With all the nukes that we have and everything.
What are they benefiting from getting Ukraine?
I think they just want to. They just want to have the USSR back again. I think they just want that whole Eastern European bloc again.
Okay. They don't have enough.
Ukraine has oil. I think. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
There's not a whole lot of other reasons other than just saying we can. Just taking it back. If they think it's pretty likely, then I don't know why other countries aren't willing to step in, including the United States.
Yeah,
I don't know why we don't want to step
NATO because it's just gonna spark some more conflict. Everything costs money.
It's true.
You know what I mean?
It's true.
Everything looks bad.
And with nukes,
on the media,
it's
and
really
everything
scary.
costs money.
You don't want to go into a nuclear war, so big countries like the United States.
I don't know
Russia,
if we'll get to that point.
I don't think so.
I used to think when I was younger, I was like, we're fucked. We're probably have World War III.
But it hasn't happened yet, right? And the closest we got.
I don't think anybody wants that. There's too much money to be made. They're not just gonna fucking melt everything.
Because we saw with the Cuban Missile Crisis, we really thought we were worried that it might happen, and even then it didn't.
Yeah, they were creeping up. That'd be weird if that happened now. I'd be pissed. I'd be like, wait, they're in Cuba? What? Okay.
Yeah, I know.
That's strange.
And you know what? Good old JFK, man. What a great president. Short-lived.
Handsome guy, from what I heard.
But it's
Young
just
guy.
crazy
like 40.
to me that he was there for so much in important U.S. history. It's really interesting. Very short-lived. And I think Robert Kennedy would have done great if he wouldn't have been assassinated as well. Because people talked about maybe him becoming the next president after.
Mm. But who was after JFK? I don't know my history.
I think it was LBJ. I think it was Johnson took over after him.
Mm.
I want to say. Am I totally off? I also don't know. I've had a little too much to drink, so you put me on the spot on that one. I felt like I could be wrong.
What's Lyndon B. Johnson?
Lyndon B. Johnson.
Lyndon.
Lyndon.
Oh.
Lidocaine.
Okay. I think we have one last thing we were going to talk about, right?
Did you have something?
I got nothing.
You got nothing?
I've had alcohols.
Lots of alcohol.
I've had other stuffs.
Other stuffs?
We're going to talk about Squid Game.
I'm glad that we're finally talking about Squid Game. I've been wanting to talk about
We thoroughly enjoyed Squid Games.
So good. It was so dark, though. I did not expect...
What, you didn't?
Well, I don't know, like,
the,
that
trailer?
Level. I don't know if I watched the
intense,
trailer.
man.
I just heard about it from a
intense.
lot of other people, right? Because everyone was talking about it for a while. Did it just stop?
We might have to hit pause on the podcast. Yeah, after experiencing some technical difficulties, we're heading into our final segment, reviewing these Squid Games.
Oh, Squid Games. I'm excited for this one. I've wanted to talk about this one for a while.
It was awesome.
Dark, though. I wasn't expecting it. I wasn't expecting it to be so dark. And I think I knew kind of what was happening just because it was all over social media before I even watched it.
Yeah.
But I watched the first episode, and when all those people just got mowed down in red light, green light, I was like, holy fuck! Holy fuck!
A lot got mowed down in round one.
It really made me
60%.
kind of think of, like, World War II, man, like, in a way. Like, it was just so dark. Just thinking about all those people just being slaughtered, right? Like the Armenian genocide in World War I, like the Holocaust in World War II. Just some of these like really dark.
It made me think about
things.
rich people that's not giving a fuck about us.
Yeah. You know, and in a way, it sort of parallels what was going on with Hunger Games.
Yeah, it was like that. It was like a different kind of Hunger Games.
But that same kind of idea, right? There's like this rich, wealthy class that's watching this game, right? And then you have all these poor people that are not being forced to play it, I guess, like with Hunger Games, but choosing to do it because they need the money. And they're taking advantage of them in a way because of that.
So then I was going to ask you, would you do it? If you were like...
Oh, no way. Oh, no way.
Come on, man. Think.
I'd get
killed. Put yourself in somebody else's shoes. You're fucked over, man. Nope. Your wife left you. You're broke. Kids hate you. Blah, 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 blah. You need the money, man. You need the money bad. You got gangsters down your throat. Fucking shaking you down.
Why? That's why I would never borrow from loan sharks.
Hey, let's woulda, coulda, shoulda, but you did. Now you're fucked.
This is
and you need money.
Hypothetical
yes,
situation.
It is.
No, I still don't think I would.
You wouldn't go?
I think I might initially if I didn't know what was happening, right? And if I lived through red light.
Oh yeah, they didn't know at first.
I think I would have gone if I didn't know what I was getting into. If they just said there's a thing going on, you can make some money, I'd be like, okay. But after we all voted and we're like, nah, we're gonna go back, I would be one of the people that stayed and did not want to go back. Okay. I'd be good.
I'd go back.
You would?
I kind of would be down.
Wouldn't you be freaked out about some of them though? Like some of them are skill based, right? Just don't move for red light, green light. That's hard. A lot of people got killed.
It just depends.
The glass one.
So I have to assume, like the people they chose, they have nothing to lose, right? It's like I don't really care if I die. I'd rather die trying to get the money. So it's like if that was my situation, it's like okay, I'm down. I think I would do it. I would fucking do it.
I did not expect the ending. The old guy.
That pissed me off. I'm being honest, that pissed me off because I fell for it so hard.
I know. I cared about that guy.
Yeah, me too.
And I was so mad when he kept tricking him in the marble part, and then I was like, but he actually doesn't have dementia.
When I saw him in the hospital bed, I was like, you old...
And he peed himself. Dude, he peed himself.
Motherfucker.
I think he literally would have peed himself just to be like, hey, I'm real. I'm here. I'm playing the game with you guys.
You pissed yourself.
I won't have dementia. Yeah.
Those billionaires, dude, they'll get you.
Yeah.
Pretend like they're your best friend, piss on themselves and everything.
Okay, that's very specific. But I think we can almost look at society right now today, right? You could think of, I'm not saying that I actually think the Illuminati's like in charge of everything, but there sort of is these high society more than likely that probably are like influencing so much in politics. But we can even see that within what we actually look at as politics, right?
Wow.
With the United States government even thinking like the NSA is always tapping us, and then they're selling that, or funding. Somehow the
political parties getting funding. Yeah, media.
Not that this is a conspiracy theory podcast.
No, it's just.
But
I'm talking there. Like data and analytics here.
But we don't think about it though, right? You don't go through your daily life thinking about that all the time.
There's always kind of leaders of the pack, you know.
Mm-hmm.
There's leaders of the pack in terms of politics, thought, fashion, art, education, everything.
And I think for a long time it was like the church, right? For
it used to be heavy on the church.
But then you had the Templars, and they were kind of doing some questionable stuff, and then you get the Masons from that, and I just think our
government caters to those things because it's good for them too.
Yeah. Well, I think a lot of people that are running the American Republic are part of that rich class that are very much so partaking in a lot of these high societies.
Oh yeah, they're not scrubs. They have good salaries. Okay, did you see the thing came out recently or not? I don't know what came out. What I read. A newsflash on the Garden Shed podcast. We don't actually know what we're talking about. At least I kind of don't.
I couldn't even remember the president after.
Yeah, we don't know what the fuck we're talking about.
History degree for nothing.
Making the point is that they were somebody raised like a debate of whether or not congressmen and like people in the like senators and congressmen should be able to have stake in the stock market because a lot of them did very well, weller than they probably.
They pulled out. It seemed like they had intel to know that
they had some fucking dude. You know they had intel.
Yeah, yeah.
All the fucking billionaires
they're so rich
and converse,
and they just get more rich.
And they're like, "Hey, bro, you're gonna want to sell your shit right now. Trust me." Wait, why? No questions, bro. Sell your shit right now. It's gonna be worth it.
No, they wouldn't even ask. They'd know.
Okay.
They just know.
Thanks, Jeff Bezos.
Yeah.
It's odd, man. There's some odd patterns.
Mm-hmm. And it's just so interesting, too, how you have two of the richest men alive that almost feel like they kind of came out of nowhere. Right? For a long time, it was Bill Gates. It was Bill Gates for so long. And then all of a sudden, right, you have Jeff Bezos, you have Elon Musk. And it felt like it was just like, oh, like all of a sudden it's Jeff Bezos, all of a sudden it's Elon Musk. And it's just like crazy how we had Bill Gates for so long.
Yeah.
And then there was some guy, I think, out of Mexico for a little bit, right? But then, like, just seeing these people rise, both within the tech industry. And that's really just showing where the economy's going right now. It's really going into tech.
Yeah, man. It's insane. And I think I said this on the last episode. But I'm going full head first metaverse.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm going in, man. I want the metaverse. I want the Oculus. I'm going in.
I don't know. I think it's going to look silly.
What am I going to do? Sit back and be that boomer guy in 40 years and be like, Matt, I miss my YouTube videos on the TV screen.
You know what would be nice? No, everybody's going outside and taking a walk
metaverse in 40 years.
In the sunlight with nature. Like real nature.
Oh, you know me. I'm fucking tree-hugging, barefoot hippie.
So you're going to be on your Oculus under
I don't understand why you can't have the best of both worlds. I'm saying my new way to do video, that I want to play video games, is I want to get an Oculus.
That's one thing.
The PS4 is cool.
No, that's one thing.
Great. That's a whole other thing that I'll keep.
But I think if you start moving into these virtual reality life things, more than just a game.
Yeah, then it's like some Black Mirror kind of shit.
Yeah. Or thinking like Supergirl or anything like that, where people are like just get so drawn into these societies.
It's totally possible, man. And I do fear for it. But
maybe that's good when you're older, though.
What am I going to do?
Because when you're old, you get to a point where maybe you can't even really go out if you wanted to. Or maybe you're disabled in such a way that you physically can't go out and experience the world. I think for something like that.
Yeah. So there was a great episode in Black Mirror.
The two old
San Junipero. There's two old people. Yeah. And then they meet. Basically, they're like their younger selves, and they meet in like another consciousness, like a simulation of their consciousness.
Simulated world, yeah. With other people.
With other people. It's like the 80s, and they're at the beach, and they're like their best selves. But in reality, they're like on their deathbed. Like, that's a really cool idea.
Develop this whole relationship
I would
together.
love that.
Yeah.
I would not want to die in the fucking hospital.
But I don't think, what I'm saying is like, right now, in our mid-20s, I don't think that's what we want. You know,
I want an Oculus, yeah.
No, for video games. But I'm saying,
Beat Saber.
Do you need to like go lay in bed, right? When you could perfectly fine move around.
No. I'll be at the beach. I'm gonna be at the beach in real life with my toes in the
real
sand.
Life, see? That's what I'm saying.
IRL.
I think if you're taking that time to experience technology, that's one thing, like video games or like watching TV or whatever it is that you're doing, you know, social media and all that stuff on your phone. We're always on our phone. But I think it's another thing to start living life, to try to experience life. Just like that. Experiencing life through some sort of virtual reality.
I just am open and I like to embrace cool technology.
I guess. You could get to a point
where
virtual reality could be the Matrix, and all of a sudden you don't realize that you're living in the Matrix.
The sooner I find out, the better, dude. Because I'm ready to slide out that tube.
Yeah.
Snap out of it.
Did you see the new Matrix?
Can we review a third or fourth movie?
Have you not seen it?
Yes, I have.
You've seen it?
Have you seen it?
Oh, it's so good. It's not my favorite of the series, but it's so good.
So
no,
good.
No. It is. No. It is because it's so different than all the other ones. Because all the other ones
did not like it at all.
So focused on this other aspects.
I did not like it.
In the Matrix in a way that they're trying to get out right away. Okay. Or it's focused on real life. This one had such a focus within the Matrix, but it was just him living his life. You just see Neo
who gives a fuck?
Living his life.
Who gives a fuck? He looked like John Wick, and it ruined it.
I guess. That's not what I was thinking. Okay, so something I am upset about, though, is they didn't have Mr. Smith.
They had a new iteration of Mr. Smith.
I didn't like
Smith.
that.
It was...
Mr. Smith and Neo
have such
a good dynamic.
Neil Patrick Harris, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
He was too much attitude. Too sassy.
But I also just
he was
love
too NPH. But
the original Mr. Smith.
Yeah, he had sass, but he was also like a dork, like Agent Mr. Anderson. Yeah.
Dude, that's the line though.
Yeah.
Mr. Anderson.
Yeah,
so good. Dude makes my skin crawl. I'm like, oh god, he's back.
Yeah, dude, that's some good shit.
Love that guy.
Classic.
And the new one,
they just didn't deliver on like the same classic feel. Mm-hmm. So I did like the story. I did think it was very creative.
Very story-driven, which is what was cool.
Story-driven was great. I did appreciate it. I liked the full story. But I like everything that happened with Trinity.
I wish they would have had stuff within cinematography. And maybe that's something you can touch on more. But to me, Matrix, the original Matrix, revolutionized film.
It absolutely did.
Movie specifically,
they
but
teach
it
that.
really,
it's cool.
Yeah. All the different angles and the slow motion.
The way they had figured out how to do a 360 thing with the cameras, they literally just set up a shit ton of cameras and learned how to sync them up and take them at the right time. Mm-hmm. It's crazy.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. But I feel like they didn't do anything new, right?
No, man. It had
been like 20 years.
The eyes look different when they get taken over by Mr. Smith.
True.
The eyes were cool. It was like green and all Matrix code.
I mean, it had better graphics.
Cool.
I mean, it had some nice digital effects, but it didn't...
The karate fight scenes were all like the same shit.
Didn't have any revolutionizing things, and I really think that's what I wanted to see. Like Avatar. I feel like Avatar, when that movie came out, it was like, bam, like, this is a big deal.
I wanted to see more of the Machine City and, like...
That would have been great, like too. That would have been great, too. Because now you have some of the machines are like, friends with the humans and everything.
I just felt like they drug out that Trinity storyline for so long.
It was.
And by the time that main payoff came off, where it's like, we got her out, and the movie's over, we got Trinity, everything's great, I was like, that's it? I was like, what else?
Anticlimactic.
I was like, yo, I thought you were about to kick some more ass. Like, it was just over.
Yeah.
So, we'll see.
That's true.
I don't know. It was a good movie, but I was disappointed. I just gotta be honest.
Yeah. That's fair.
But
I think it's worth a watch. But it's not my favorite by any means. I think the original is the best, honestly. It's so good.
Absolutely.
I mean, the original trilogy in general is very good. If you haven't seen them, guys,
the beginning, I did like the way they did the beginning. Oh, it was like a second iteration, and there was it was like the same thing happening again. Mm-hmm. Like that very first, I went and watched the original Matrix, the first like 5 minutes.
I watched it not that long ago, yeah.
And then the new, like the first 5 minutes of that new one. It's like the same thing, but they redid it.
Mm-hmm. They did.
That would have been fun.
I wish they would have had the same Morpheus, though. I was disappointed that he was
Lawrence Fishburne. He's just old, I think.
I know. But I did like the new one. He was very flamboyant. But I did like the new one.
Yeah, there was too many jokes in it where I was like... That was kind of a cheesy joke, but whatever.
But it was funny. It was so funny.
That's the same thing in Spider-Man.
Yes. But Spider-Man's supposed to be funny, though.
It's Spider-Man's supposed
comic
to be funny.
Book. If I saw like a serious Spider-Man where there was no jokes, there was no humor, wouldn't have been worth it.
Yeah.
But dude, not having our cameos anymore.
In what?
In Spider-Man. Well, in the Marvel movies in general. Because we don't have Stan Lee anymore. That's my favorite, like the most funny parts, is usually when you get to see Stan Lee.
What's the matter? Your kids never seen a spaceship?
So good. Or like my favorite
Infinity War.
My favorite one is, I think it's Andrew Garfield's, where he's getting like thrown around in the library, and my man's just in there with headphones, like not even realizing.
Yeah.
Just cleaning, doing the janitor thing. So funny.
Oh god, they're all good. I can't even remember. Yeah, it's a bummer.
You know what? When we saw his last cameo after he passed away, and you see him in the store selling the Spider-Man costume, so many people in the theater were just like, "Aww." Like, you heard it was audible. Yeah. It was just this sad moment. We were all like, this is the last cameo we're getting with him. Yeah. It's too bad.
Old people die.
They do.
It's a thing.
We all die someday.
I'm gonna die.
We get old.
Actually, I'm not. Because we drink Prime.
Live forever. Drink a Prime a day keeps the doctor away.